All right. So welcome back once more to another scene for Boston by Night. Da-na-na. The vampire ending. Where, if a prior example is to be believed, Alice has gotten herself up, gotten herself dressed for the evening, and has probably been puttering around, futzing with her phone, at least initially. One of the first things she does is take that thing off the charger and pops in her, her little headphone jack and goes ahead and thumbs through, starts prodding, poking, being annoying, messaging people, messaging friends, messaging enemies, messaging frenemies. But yeah, just kind of being a girl her age in this modern time wherein you are surgically attached to your phone. In this case, it will be probably first some string of really out there emojis to Jake, just because he messages her the weirdest crap. And it's a response check. And she'll look at the messages, the number for Serena, and be like, oh. Oh God, she's messaging me.
What you get back is the same string of emojis, but inverted.
She sends him back the clever girl gif. Yes, Serena. Give me life signs.
And Serena will message Alice. Just hey, smiley face.
The reply is a simple, hey. Meanwhile, it's the dance of many messages as she's probably prodding other people, going to hunt down her shoes. Messaging Jake back, like, who listens to audiobooks, though?
I listen to audiobooks.
Why don't you just read the book?
Because I want to listen to it.
Gets back the little stiff line mouth face.
You would send such an emoji to me in my own home.
Please tell me. Is that actually what he messages back?
Yes.
Yeah, that takes her a moment. Yeah. She loses her composure for a hot second.
For a couple minutes go by after the initial haze, Alice will get another text from Serena. So, I'm hungry and climbing the walls. You want to go out tonight?
Oh, it dulls down the giggles. She, licks her teeth for a second and kind of tentatively just types back, I'm not much of a social eater, comma, but I know a handful of places around town.
She'll get back. Awesome. Smiley face.
Meanwhile, she straight up mean girl texts Jake like, Jake, don't leave me alone.
I'm right here. Texting you. Texting me. Texting you. This is it. This is the great epiphany of mankind, wherein we found a way to talk to each other at the speed of talking over great distances, but went straight back to sending each other letters. But now, faster.
Oh my god.
Can you just imagine?
She shakes her head like, oh god, he's not wrong.
And it just continues. Can you imagine? Imagine for me the letters of that one author. What was it? James Joyce? Imagine those infamous letters, but instead they're a series of shaky one-handed text messages. Bunch of misspellings.
So are you free to come out?
I mean, I'm not working on work at the moment, so probs, what's up?
And she snags her keys, leaves a note. Oh, Serena wants to hang out, and I need you to counterbalance, please, Jake.
Why would you do this to me in my own home?
I'm technically doing it to you in my own home. Well, close enough.
Given the nature of technology, you're doing this to us in both of our own homes.
It's, you know, when we start getting technical, this starts getting confusing. Please, Jake.
Only if you put a cherry on top.
I mean, there's maraschino cherries in the fridge. I will bring you a cherry.
I would have settled for the emoji.
There's a pause. She actually starts thumbing through the emojis to see if there's a cherry, like, in the little preset keyboard.
I want to say there is, actually.
Oh my god. Gonna do this in real time. This check for the emoji.
This is the greatest use that Kindred have ever made of their nearly unlimited time on this earth.
Yes, yes, it is. Oh my god, there is.
I can't.
She sends him back the cherries.
And the next text you just get is "Give me a place."
So she'll kind of rub her thumb on her lip as she's heading out to the car, thinking, because Jake's particular condition, it's probably smart to go somewhere a little out of the way.
Probably.
So she will text both of them in turn. The old theater, South Boston. It's not that hard to find a way in.
The old theater. Okay.
Let me take a look at the actual entry for this thing. Oh wow, I don't think it's even in my entries.
It's down there, South Boston Old Theater.
It's not in my entries.
Oh. Well, I will put the little entry right here.
And there's like a long pause, probably, as Jake's figuring his own life out. And then you just get a, yeah, okay.
Yeah. In his case, she sends back, hell, you probably have like an expressway straight in. Well, she'll hop in her car. And as she always does when getting in the car, she reaches over, turns on the car, buckles up, all that, turns on the radio and cranks it. Fucking crazy ass, super loud death metal. And yeah,
Starts pulling herself out all dainty like.
and goes to head across town.
Serena will make travel arrangements for herself. Probably borrow a car. And she will also make her way toward the south side of Boston and the old theater there, and
Yep. All things considered, I feel like you and your crowd, it actually may be closer to you than it is to Alice. So you may well beat her there. But yeah, it's a big old abandoned building, covered in graffiti, or at least liberally dotted with graffiti. There was, all things considered, it's gone bankrupt and all, and while it's not being maintained, it probably has like no trespassing signs that are completely ineffective and attempts made to board the place up.
Laughs and unseen presence.
But as each finds their own way in, whether it's clambering through a window the glass has long since been knocked out of, or finding a door they can jimmy open, or who knows, really. Sooner or later, it's inside, like, and it really is. It's a big theater. Like, I'm pretty sure it has a balcony seating and everything. Like, big place, but definitely empty. Definitely decrepit. I want to say, yeah, kind of not literally falling apart, but one of those places where, you know, those things that weren't attached or nailed down have probably been wrenched off or hooliganized, or, well, it's seen better days. Let's put it that way.
Well, this is suitably depressing. He just kind of whums into existence for you, Alice.
No. Alice is, once she's gotten inside, notably only after getting inside, just turns on the fucking flashlight on her phone. Has, like, big ass, we'll say teal headphones on her head. And, let me tell you, someone just appearing right next to you, it gets a jump. Like, a good jump scare jump, just the, oh, shit! God, why would you do that? She, like,
well, we're
smacks
already
the
somewhere,
headphones down.
We're already somewhere suitably spooky.
Whew. Did Serena die? Did she make it?
I don't know.
Like, scanning.
I'm here.
Oh! Holy shit.
She waves from a rather darkened area of the room.
I mean, it's an abandoned building at night. It's all dark. I don't know. There might be some moonlight or street lights here and there that make it in.
Let's at least get further in before we start flashing things around.
All right. And yeah, she'll drop the flashlight, as it were. Drop the light towards the floor just to make sure she didn't trip and die a graceless and humiliating death.
Jake leads the way with an honest-to-goodness flashlight.
Serena will tag along behind them.
Any particular reason you picked this place?
Seems safe enough. She heaves a shrug. Actually turns off the flashlight since he has an actual flashlight and won't drain her battery this way.
Aside from the plausibility of a haunting.
Well, yeah. Besides, I'm sure people bust into this place periodically, so...
Oh, yeah, I could have never told if this light kind of runs across, like, The literal graffiti.
Oh yeah, it definitely happens.
So it's not anything weird for us to be here, really.
No, we're just a group of wacky kids doing some ghost hunter shit.
Proper delinquents, really.
Hmm.
Not much of a place to eat. Sorry, Serena, but
It's fine. I can get something on my way back in.
Speak for yourself.
there's a side glance.
You don't hear them?
Hear what?
No, they're having a fun conversation over there. About us.
What? She actually
jerks.
pauses.
He jerks his light, and you watch a couple rats skitter away.
It's
You
funny
know-
because you get to watch her kind of get stiff and actually start scanning, and then some rats skitter, and she's just like, "Oh,
It might be worth it, but
I mean, is it?"
not worth the hassle for me. No, I'd rather have something that tastes good if I'm just gonna be.
I admit it's a little bit Art Nouveau, perhaps a little too on the bleeding edge for some folks, but
Was that a pun?
I think it was a pun.
Maybe, possibly, probably.
Oh my god! Finally cracks a bit of a grin. You know what? She goes around and kind of. Well, is kind of careful getting near the stage because who knows if there's an orchestra pit or not. And Jake has the flashlight. I mean, they seem like they'd be a hell of a bitch to chase down, and they're so small. Like, aren't you kind of guaranteed to kill them?
Well, try to look at this from my perspective. You've had a steak, right?
Yeah.
You've had some chicken wings in your time?
Yeah.
Lamb chops?
Yes, I have eaten perfectly
Filet of fish?
normal foods in my time, and actually still do.
Duck?
Where's this going?
What, pray tell, is the difference between all of those things and that? They all lived. They clucked, quacked, mooed, oinked.
Okay. Yeah, the hands come up like, okay. But I mean, what do they taste like?
Depends.
I mean, it can't be good, can it?
It's fine to me.
They can be kind of gamey sometimes.
Gamey.
I know. It's an acquired taste.
Like glances over to Serena. Has Serena actually fed from animals?
Yes, she has.
Oh. I'm pretty
Like-
sure that unless there's a merit involved, it tastes like shit compared to human blood.
Think like venison. If it's not cooked well, it has that almost musky aftertaste, kind of like that.
I have never had poorly cooked venison, so I.
One thing I would love to get my hands on is an honest-to-goodness lab rat.
What?
Well, the standards of breeding for, lab rats, it is the tippity top. Think pure breeding for dogs.
I mean, isn't pure breeding for dogs just really, really goal oriented inbreeding?
Same thing for lab rats.
Ugh.
I wonder how. Yeah, I bet they would taste different. I don't know about
yes, it's something I've
better,
been
but
dreadfully curious about.
different.
I was gonna start with this "you are what you eat" kind of thing when it comes to the idea of eating a lab rat, but where, Jesus, I guess, where would you even get a lab rat?
From a lab. Or a place that breeds them for labs.
Yeah, you'd have to buy it.
I wonder if you can mail order them.
I mean, probably
You'd have to.
you can mail order most small animals and reptiles, tarantulas.
Oh no, it's something I've definitely been curious about. You know what I've never had the guts to try though?
What?
I've never tried out horse.
Are you?
I know that you like to brush them and ride them and they have personalities and everything, but I've thought about it.
I mean, they're also gigantic.
Where would you even
Exactly.
find one around here?
I mean, there's. She like gives the hand a wave. There's always somewhere that does like horseback riding lessons, or places where people who actually have horses can board them, or once you get outside of town, you'll inevitably find a couple horse barns.
Oh, that's just something I'll have to earmark for later. I have nothing but time.
That's true.
Yes, the thing that is ever on our side.
So, Serena, how are you feeling? Are you
Oh, check out this fucking theater. This must have been something back in its time.
Am I recovered yet? Fully? No, not entirely. That's why I was climbing the walls in the house.
Well, at least there is plenty of room to climb here, and I imagine there are all kinds of interesting hand and footholds. Kind of like glances over to the nearest wall, like, "Huh."
My professional opinion, don't climb something that's dilapidated unless you have to.
I meant more metaphorically than literally, but yeah, I kind of agree with Jake. Climbing around in here just seems like a good way to end up with a piece of wood through your body. Or worse.
Yeah, true.
And then I'll end up being even hungrier than I already am. Or walking around with a piece of rebar shoved through my abdomen, and isn't that just delightful?
Maybe a not so much.
I mean, she like finally glances over. Are you like eating regularly? Because
Yes. Actually.
why are you so hungry?
I don't know. I imagine it has to do with whatever it was that had me so, amped up. The party.
I guess so. I mean, I'm starting to get there myself, but I don't eat very often.
How? Obviously, you got out okay. But how? I mean, I didn't see you when I left.
I mean, to be fair, I'm not sure you were really taking in much of anything. You were literally bouncing off the walls.
No, I was promptly dragged out by Lefty.
Yep.
When the screaming started.
You are muted.
I am a ninja.
Yeah, by the way, you freaked me the hell out.
What,
Ninja.
you were there?
You couldn't have said, "Hey, it's Jake," or something?
Things were getting sporting.
I just thought you were a random crazy person from the rave.
If you hadn't noticed, things were getting very sporting and a lot was happening very quickly.
Yes, yeah, I know. I literally avoided you. You know, when you
And your
went to
friend,
check out
Tall,
the...
blonde, and handsome, had taken command of the situation.
Well, yeah, but even before he got there, I would have I don't know, not run off by myself if I'd known you were you.
To be fair, Alice, I really hadn't seen you there except in one of two occasions. Occasion the first, you were very involved and far deeper in a crowd than I wanted to be. On occasion the second, you were standing in front of something that was just unappealing in general.
It's a blink. Standing in front of what? I mean, I didn't.
That big old smear of crime scene.
I don't think you saw her until you guys practically ran into her in the tunnels. She was obfuscated for all
I
that.
thought. No, I thought we ran to her in front of the giant pool of blood where the guy had obviously been stabbed down.
Nah, yeah, that was you too. She was obfuscated
Oh.
and started following the trail.
All right.
That's actually how she got separated and ended up in that room, is that she ran off by herself because she didn't know it was Jake.
Either way, things happen. Mistakes were made. I'm very sorry.
I mean, good dig still on the outfit. The mask is great.
Well, thank you. I'm very fond of it myself.
Like, come on, Serena. That thing, that is awesome. Like, gestures up at the mask specifically, like, especially the eyepiece.
No, it actually is pretty cool. Very very inventive.
I love it. Oh my god. Just the little hard eyes. It does her in immediately.
So that's what, like, you've got like a little computer program or something that controls that?
Something on that level, yes.
Oh my god, I've only ever seen like, I mean, I've seen Frosty, of course, but I've only ever seen like Zed's mask. As far as, you know, outside wear. That's great.
Oh, I just felt it was expressive.
It's definitely that. It's downright clever.
So, Jake kind of like tests the stage, like he's testing firmness of floorboards with the hand before he hauls himself up to a sit. Let's talk.
You know what? Once he's hopped up and she's got a little lighting, Alice will do much the same.
Serena will climb on up too.
I personally find myself very alarmed by the situation we found ourselves in.
Oh, the blood pool?
The entire situation.
Define entire.
Well, there was the group of suspicious individuals. There was the panic.
Did you
I,
see the people I was hanging out with?
I see many things.
The guy that I came in with and the chick.
Lord of the Dance.
Oh god. Just like kind of rubs her cheek for a second. Yeah, that's the one. Him and the blonde?
Not sure I saw a blonde per se, but maybe it was all very crowded in there.
Definitely dangerous. I like not in a really direct I'm gonna shiv you in an alley, but
I mean, that is basically what happened, so maybe we table that judgment.
yeah, but that was to someone who could bleed.
Your point being?
My point being, I don't know what they are exactly, but it's not good.
No, I'd say it's quite bad for business.
And she kind of glances over to Serena. Have you said anything to anyone about them? You're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Not a lot. He looked healthy and warm and alive, like food.
Well, okay, but the question is, did you tell anyone else about them? Have you talked to anyone about it?
There's not a lot to tell. I met him on the subway. You knew him. We went together. No, I haven't really told anyone anything other than what I know, which is I met him. He knew where the party was. We went together.
I met him on the subway too, actually.
Really?
Yeah. Total chance run in. I was taking a ride down to you remember Damien, right?
Yeah.
The comic. I was actually going to see his show and took the sub. And while I was riding, I felt something go off. I don't know what. I just got like the fucking tingle, you know? And so I moved train cars because it freaked me the hell out and bumped into him in the next car. He says he's... Yeah, she actually turns back to Jake. He says he's a foreign exchange student.
Yep.
Man, if I wanted to seem mysterious and like I didn't belong, I'd probably make something up like that too.
I mean, I'm pretty sure. I mean, he's got the accent. He didn't seem to know how to navigate the subway. I actually had to help him find a stop. And honestly, I was kind of worried about him. I was going to see if I could get a hold of him because not long after I met him, I may or may not have stumbled across where another exchange student had been dropped in a dumpster. Like the winds.
I wouldn't be particularly surprised, personally, if one were to stop him and ask for any kind of identification, if what he was sporting might not in many ways match that dead person.
I mean, aren't they photos ideas for colleges now? Or, I don't...
If I was given enough time, I could possibly put a photo of myself where the photo is.
See, I'd gotten the impression that the exchange students were being targeted. They're kind of easy pickings in a strange town. And
Well,
obviously now I'm not so sure.
Well, technically you're all easy pickings.
Maybe
Jake
they are.
hops off the stage and does a little bit of a dance. Think of it this way.
Does a little dance.
He does.
Well, he's got our attention.
Oh, follow me on this, ladies. And he spins on the ball of his foot and then stops. Are you ready for this cabaret?
I don't think I've ever been this ready for a conversation. Holy shit.
Yeah. Head it.
I'm a bad man, a ghoul in the night. But I don't just want any prey. I want... And they turn to X's. Pretty young women. And I happen to be rather fetching myself. So what do I do? And this, he starts kind of doing this cha-cha slide from side to side. I learn an accent, the most appealing one I can find. I practice a story, and I happen to bump into, pretty girls on the subway.
Just this side glance at Serena. She's just like, God, I don't know how long I can look away from the dancing, but he's got a pretty solid point. It's not a bad tactic for eating, even.
No, it isn't. That's actually a tactic I'd considered using myself. But,
Oh,
for
but it
different
gets
reasons.
better because I'm exotic, I'm attractive, and I don't know my way around. Hello, pretty girl, and he points at Alice. I have smoldering eyes and an accent, but I'm new in town. I don't suppose you could help me around, could you?
I mean, I've helped him find his spot, like, his stop on the sub, but admittedly, I had somewhere to be, so.
And if you didn't, or you decided you didn't, lunchtime.
I feel like that would have gone quite the way he expected, but fair enough. I should start carrying knuckles or something. Jesus.
That's a good question, actually. Did things go the way these people expected? Assuming that they're the same people who arranged that little unfortunate incident in the club.
I mean, considering that before all the screaming happened, the Gavin, Lord of the Dance guy, he he slipped off. I was talking to the blonde had been talking to the blonde when the whole scream went down. I actually cleared off of her too. She was giving me the Wiccans.
So, we now don't know many things that are important to know. One, we really don't know who these people are.
Oh.
Two, we don't know what they're really trawling for, though you met him too, right, Serena? You weren't just with Alice?
Nope. Met him on the subway. Said he was an exchange student at one of the colleges.
Mm-hmm.
Asked if we might have seen each other around campus.
Did he give you a dodgy answer?
No, I gave the dodgy answer.
Ah.
I
God,
said
that
I
is-
hadn't been back in a while because I was in a car accident.
Alice actually just lowers her face into her hands and starts rubbing her face like, oh my god, it's so fucking classic and so obvious when you point it out.
I know. Men are terrible. So, we don't know what they're really fishing for.
No, we don't. But
Are they getting regular people? Are they just happening to bump into us? Who are they really going for?
I don't know. Actually,
here's-
she actually reached her. How close to her did Serena sit down?
I mean, she's like probably within arm's reach.
Is she like doing the classic sit on the edge of the stage, like where you have your hands propped to either side of you?
Yeah. Dangling
Oh.
her feet off the edge.
Alice will, with like zero warning or explanation, she just kind of pauses, blinks, and reaches out and sets her hand on the back of Serena's. I mean, unless Serena's gonna like leap away.
No, I mean it's like the sudden physical contact startles her and she turns to look at you, but she doesn't go and fall over.
So I'll give you this. Alice is warm to the touch. Is Serena?
No, Serena is cold.
Huh. I don't know if it had just been me. She just kind of like gestures up and at her face, and I mean, yes, she wears makeup and all, but she's got a good living flush going at constant. She's warm to the touch. She's very believably alive looking. Admittedly, and it's not like Serena is blatantly dead either. The only way that Alice knows is having touched her and felt that she was cool. So I don't know. But Jesus, that is such a good classic trawling tactic. I'm not sure they'll keep doing it now.
Maybe, maybe not.
If it had just been you,
Well,
I'd
that
say it's probably a coincidence, but two, no. Especially like us. Because you haven't been at this much longer than me, have you, Alice?
I've been around for a little while, but no, I haven't been out that long. I've been out for a couple months.
Or an Oman. Yeah. That's, that tells me everything I need to know to say, yeah, maybe this is a coincidence, but it's worth confirming it is before we just brush it off as one.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not sure they'll, glancing over to Jake, I don't know that they'll keep up the same tactic. Because, I mean, I believed him. I was actually kind of relieved when I saw him with Serena because I wanted to warn him that someone was targeting exchange students. But I think the blonde kind of showed her hand a little. And I mean, it was obvious that they were good friends. So her showing her hand kind of implicates him. I'm not sure he's going to keep up the same tactics if it means we'd be able to just go on the subway a couple times and eventually find him.
It might. He might change. He might not. I mean, the one advantage we'd have in that area is I was so messed up. I might be able to play off not having a lot of memory about that night.
Well, that and she didn't tip you off. I can't even remember if we... No, we just said we'd met before. We might be able to. I don't think he's going to try it on me again. Not the same way anyways.
Well,
No, you were cool and collected. I was the weird, awkward one.
Yeah. About that, she finally turns to really give Serena a squint. What got into you? Like,
double
what
question
happened?
marks.
Because one minute you're awkward in the totally feasible and kind of endearing way normally, but you went from normal awkward to complete psychopath in precious little time.
I don't really know how to describe it. It was...
Did you snack on anyone while you were there?
No, I didn't. Well, I did feed off someone, but that was after. And I took what normally fills me up, makes the hunger go away, and my beast was just screaming in my head for more. So-
That is not a good time.
It hasn't stopped. I'm starting to get scared it might not. And I'm just gonna have to hunt regularly, different places all the time, just in case something goes bad.
Just be careful. You can overeat. That's a thing. It's not pretty when you do.
I'm sure
And-
it isn't.
If you're kind of desperately grabbing whatever's available, have you actually ever gotten a hold of someone who had something in their system before?
Yeah, a few times. It was always deliberate.
Okay. At least you know.
At this point, I don't know what would calm it. Maybe if I got someone who has some really good weed in their system, it might quiet down a little bit, but
I mean, yeah, if
it might
someone
just make
had
it
like
worse.
a downer, it might. I don't know. I don't. I mean, I guess friends that are on the right kinds of drugs would do something about it. But
I've
that
got
is hard to gauge.
I've got friends I can go out, party with, do stuff with, get something from them, but I'm honestly a little scared to go to them right now. They were my friends when I was alive, and I don't want to hurt them.
Are okay, this is going to sound really insensitive. Are any of them on anything that's like a mood stabilizer?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay,
Um,
that maybe, but if you don't know, I wouldn't risk it. Not if you're feeling the temptation to chew people to death.
now the only thing I can think is if, I don't know, someone on some really strong painkillers or really good weed.
I mean,
Really
there are
good weed
places you
might
could
quiet
hit.
it. Really good painkillers might knock
I
me out until this blows
wouldn't
over.
go for painkillers. Not by yourself.
No. I wouldn't go by myself anyway now.
I mean, they're not the only boogeyman in the city.
Well, it's not that. It's going out with someone else. It might draw more attention to us, yeah, but having someone else with me, there's someone who can pull me off before there's a dead body we have to cover up.
I mean, you say draw attention. A girl alone pulls a lot more attention than a girl with a presumed boyfriend or her bestie.
Exactly.
So, if anything, it might draw less.
Go in groups. Don't drink from an unattended drink. You know, basic girl guidelines.
Yeah, so a thoughtful little kind of nod, little glance over. Did you ever actually touch Gavin?
Serena stops. Think about it. No, I don't think I did.
You know when he gave you that pill?
I mean, I brushed his hand. I don't think it felt unusual. It didn't stand out at the time.
Well, no, I more meant for your sake.
For my sake.
I mean, to be fair, you can blame it on bad circulation, but you're not
Cold.
exactly roasty toasty.
No, I'm not.
Just keeps glancing over. Every time Jake's eyes change, she kind of glimpses over, cracks a grin once or twice because, god damn it.
I guess.
Questions from the audience?
Yeah. A few.
Okay.
Do you know what pill he handed you?
Looked like ecstasy.
It was probably Molly.
Well, I understand that there's an understanding when it comes to, how do I put this? Things that aren't our usual soup du jour and our bodies.
It
You
wouldn't have done
are
anything.
correct.
However, do you genuinely know what you put in your body?
No, I don't have some X-ray vision that tells me what I'm putting in my body.
That may or may not, this could just be my paranoia talking, have something to do with what happened later.
I mean, don't those things usually hit pretty quick?
Usually, yeah.
For people
But-
without a certain condition, yes. Look at it this way. And Jake kind of gets up from his perch, does a quick little like bounce. It's those little like leg hop things that you can't do unless you have potence or actual leg strength to help you. But he eventually gets up and evens out. Answer me this. What does dry ice do on its own?
It can make fog when it's exposed to air, but on its own, it's just really cold.
What happens when you take a bottle of dry ice, pour a bunch of water in?
Fog?
Then you get a... Yeah, or if you put the cap on it, you get a bomb.
Wow. Just the side glance at Serena, like, wow.
Mythbusters did a whole
Chemistry.
episode on it.
So, key question here. Did you take the pill before or after you had a party snack?
Before.
But she's
So you put this thing that you do not know inside of you, deep inside of you. And then you added the water to the bottle.
yeah, but she didn't eat till after she had started going apeshit bananas.
Oh, there goes that theory. He just kind of throws his hands up. Didn't
I
seem that
mean-
mad about it.
It wasn't that bad a theory,
But
but she didn't eat till after. But there are important details we're leaving out.
no, just following that train of thought. As far as I know, nothing works like it used to unless it's already in the blood.
Yeah.
I can drink Guy's Alex size under the table.
I mean, you might regret it.
Oh, yeah, I'll regret it
Can you
afterwards,
still
but
eat?
yeah.
Oh.
Look,
it all comes up eventually, but
Oh yeah.
the problem is we're dealing with a lot of things we don't know about people we know nothing about.
if they somehow manage to make something that works on us, that might make sense.
I mean, I feel like if it was that easy, it would be a more widespread thing.
Who says it's easy?
I get your point. Just if we could be drugged that readily, wouldn't our sires know something about that?
Well, and he sits in one of the seats like he is a member of the audience now. That's a great question. What do people who are older than you tell you?
Usually,
I'm not meaning to cast aspersions on those that bore you, but what do they tell you? What don't they tell you? Out of what necessities did they tell you them?
I mean, Ivy's always been pretty upfront. I ask a question, I get an answer. And if it's something that would concern my safety, I get a very hasty answer.
Now, as I said, and he holds his hands up, I'm not meaning to cast aspersions,
No, you're good.
but let's continue this line of thought, shall we?
Okay.
I know pretty much everything there is to know about being a professional accountant. I know, crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in many ways I am very good at my job. But that's neither here nor there. I have now encountered the two of you. Now, I know all of these things about accounting, and some of them might affect you in the future, but if I have no reason to think that, am I going to tell you? Not out of cruelty, not out of mistrust, but
I may or may not have gone to several raves now with a group of more of us. I mean, usually mainly with the one, but the others are usually around.
yeah,
And when they want to get ahead of something, they either, catch someone off in the bathroom or, I mean, I've seen them pulled out bagged stuff before.
normal circumstances, that seems pretty, well, normal. But we're talking about the abnormal. There's also the chance that neither those that bore you into your fine lineage or those that bore you into your fine lineage have ever seen anything like that before. As you said, it can't be easy. That I agree.
I mean, I can always ask. Maybe works at the hospital. If anyone would know.
Jake claps his hands and points at Alice. Thank you.
The brow quirk?
It's a wonderful idea. You'll have to go out of your way. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's to my benefit too. And if this is actually a thing, I mean, hoarding that information would just guarantee you guys had a higher chance of getting in trouble, which
Oh, yeah.
is not in any way beneficial to me or
Now,
your sires or anyone.
now, speaking of very bad things that could be not beneficial, Serena.
Hmm?
Walk me through what happened to you. Alice seems to know a lot about it, but me, I was off being a ninja. A shadow in the night.
I found Lefty when we came in and dragged him over to be part of the group once we made our way through the crowd. It took a bit. I started talking to the blonde woman who was friends with Gavin. I don't remember her name. And she said some stuff, and then I just.
Had some stuff.
Yeah, and she said something about me looking innocent, and I think I said something in response, and it was like I just got hit with a needle full of adrenaline, and it woke up my beast.
There's like the side glance over at Jake.
The X's haven't changed. I see. Were you making eye contact with her?
I don't think so, no.
But she was close to you.
Yeah,
She said something, and that's when you freaked out.
yeah.
Was this Gavin near you?
Yeah, he was dancing.
Okay. Couldn't confirm it myself based off of that, but it sounds like, if we're just going to go in more conventional ways of thinking, that somebody, perhaps maybe even someone who was near you and you didn't even know it, acted a little more directly upon you. If I were you, and maybe also you, maybe even me, I would also go to those who had borne me, or maybe those who just bear me goodwill. And I would ask them some questions about whether or not folks have been known to be able to do that.
Could do that. I mean, what exactly are we asking? Just, I guess, honestly, it's probably just easier to describe it as best we can rather than planning on a very particular way of asking.
Yep.
Are there people who can say something and wake up your beast and make you go crazy? That
I
seems like a
mean-
good way to phrase it.
Whether it's saying or touching or, I mean, I don't know.
What I would
Can
do,
they do it at all?
what I would do if I was just kind of going fishing, is I would do what I just had you do to me. I'd walk them through it, see if they pick up something.
It's not a bad idea.
They might notice something that, or latch on to something that you hadn't even considered previously. As we all know, they are older than we,
Yeah.
and they have a vested interest in your success.
Yeah, there's a few people I could talk to about it.
Start with the one who bore you. See what she has to say.
I'll make my way up from there.
There you go. Now, it should go without saying that it would probably suit our interests.
Keep
To
this
keep.
close to home.
Yes, close to the vest, quiet confidence.
Yeah. Spreading things around when we don't have anything to spread is kind of an awful idea.
Especially considering that at my first showing and Serena's first showing, what was the official line? There are no problems.
Quiet on the war front.
So if we start running around banging trash cans, what do you think that will do? Dallas, you're already right there with me. I know you are.
Yep.
Yeah, that would not be good.
So, close to home, close to the vest. If we come across something pressing and provable, it's a different story. But right now, we have a club stabbing, some piqued emotions, and suspicion.
Did you manage to ever see where that blood trail went?
Me, not so much. The big guy.
He loves me.
He did, but when I was with him, he seemed like he was on to something. But no, whoever made that whoopsie really beat feet.
I might know who to ask. If I've ever got followed up.
Oh,
Yeah. Big guy probably knows whose place that is. And can always ask them. I think it's one of us, so they would probably have a vested interest in checking it out instead of just washing it away and pretending it never happened.
yeah, probably.
Nobody wants that kind of shit on their own turf.
Hey, Serena.
Yeah?
I think he just kind of like stops, and his body language is very but he hasn't changed the lights on his mask. The fuck was that up there? You mind going and seeing what's going on?
Where?
Up. Okay, you see where those theater boxes start near the door?
Yeah.
Yeah, just be a dear and take a look for me. Feeling a little sluggish today.
Yeah, okay.
Thanks.
For what
She'll-
it's worth, Alice will even be craning around to kind of glance in the indicated direction.
Serena will hop off the stage, head in that direction.
And when she does, Jake kind of pops up and starts ambling towards Alice and leans his elbows on the stage next to where she's sitting. Do you mind craning your head down a bit for me?
Yeah, she does. She's sensibly renewed her caution in making sure she doesn't get too danger close to Nos, because once you all you got to do is forget that breathing isn't necessary one time too close to Nos.
Just
She
a little
does, for
bit.
what it's worth, like actually take a second, kind of blink and stop breathing.
You were very, very kind to me, and actually helped me twice. And I feel really bad about the other time where I wasn't quite as on your back as I needed to be. So you didn't hear this from me, are we understood?
Gotcha.
That's Garnet's place.
I know.
Just didn't want her to hear it.
Ditto. That's why I was being vague.
I figured I'd at
He's-
least try to help you.
Yeah. He's Alec and him. Same sire. The big guy.
Oh, the big guy, yeah. Okay.
I figure there's no way he's gonna just clean that away and pretend it didn't happen. I'm willing to bet he's more territorial than that. He's probably made some effort to track it down.
To a certain measure of the public, yes, he will pretend it never happened, but
On a
I
personal
don't
level.
imagine, on a personal level, whoever it was violated his domain.
You know, while we have a second,
Yes.
so I was there when you found the pool before Alex
Yes.
showed up. I didn't realize it was you, so I just started trying to follow the trail, and I got turned around. So I stepped into this room thinking surely the trail would pick up in there. And someone grabbed me and slammed me against the wall so hard I'm pretty sure I heard a rib crack. And I'm pretty sure she was an us, Jake. And I didn't recognize her. And I've seen all of you come in at Elysium.
Nods. Okay. Okay. I don't know much more than you do.
I just figured if anyone would be able to.
Wait, you've been in the sewers, right?
Briefly? I went down for that.
I can't
that
remember.
mission.
I think you mentioned it in my presence.
Yeah, I went down for the mission.
Weren't you on about xenomorphs?
Yeah.
When you saw xenomorphs, did you see anything else out of the ordinary down there?
I mean, I didn't. I have, there's another monk who was introduced the same day I was, same night. And he said he saw a giant snake in the tunnels that chased him. And something about a little girl.
What's the little girl doing?
I don't know. He was. Look, when we finally found him, and he was just finally climbing out of the sewers, he was He was in a way, okay? He was in a bad way. But he insisted there was a giant snake down there chasing him through the tunnels.
Mm,
Like, I mean, like giant snake.
okay. Because I was telling you something you already knew, I will give you this nugget instead, alright?
Okay?
Beware walls that bleed.
Right?
And above all, beware singing. You did not hear that from me.
Yeah. Got it.
But if that ever happens, especially both, run.
Oh, yeah.
I ran so hard and so fast I nearly got hit by a fucking train when I came up wherever I could.
Was it down there?
Oh yeah.
I like between the stuff I saw and that's your guys' turf. I don't. If I go down there, it's because I'm desperate.
People will be upset. But people are keeping us in the dark. So you didn't hear it from me. That is something for you to just know.
Okay.
Because you were kind to me. And one other thing. Now that I'm just dropping all these fucking morsels in your lap for nothing in return.
Hey.
If you ever see a sign, graffiti, blood, whatever, in the shape of a rabbit, you contact me directly.
Okay.
Okay. How you faring up there, Serena?
I don't see anything up here. I'm
Oh,
gonna come back down.
all right. Must have just been my paranoia acting up.
Either that or rats. I can smell them up here.
You don't want to know what they're saying. Oh,
I'm
you might
pretty
know what they're
sure
saying.
I think I'm the only
coming
one out of
down.
the loop here.
They're insulting her.
Rude.
Rats are rude.
So, is that just a thing? You guys, both of you can hear animals talk?
From day one till now, yeah.
It's actually really cool.
They're about as petty as we are.
It's still really cool. Can't do that. You okay, Serena?
Yeah. You don't want to know what they're saying, Alice. I find it's best to just ignore them and pretend you can't understand them because when you let on that you can understand them, well, they just get worse.
The nose wrinkles.
They're still not anywhere as bad as the raccoons.
Dogs are nice. I want to eat dogs.
No, I would never.
Well, unless there's some other pressing topic.
I can't think of anything particularly pressing, but how do I get in contact with you? Should I just go through Alice? She'll look at Jake.
Oh, just like the White Rabbit song. Yes, just ask Alice.
Lip
All right.
quirks up. I get to be Grand Central Station.
Maybe even Mr. Conductor.
Oh.
Nay, at least it makes it easier to keep you in the loop.
One day I'll just have to start charging for services. Like flicks her hair very dramatically over her shoulder.
Pshaw, as though you don't have some unlimited data plan.
Not the point. There's got to be, I'm just saying, if I have to be your secretary long term, I'm going to start asking for bennies. I mean, just quirking a smile. It's not in any way a serious thing.
Either way, if that is the case, I do believe I'm going to beat feet back home. It's a long walk.
Okay. I'll be in touch.
All right.
You want to walk together back to the car, Serena?
Yeah, that seems like a good idea.
And by the time you two turn around, he's gone.
I never get used to that.
He's so fast and quiet. He really is like a ninja.
It's a trick I'm familiar with. Just yeah, you never get used to people just, she makes a little poof gesture with her hand. But she does loop up Serena's arm. But while we walk, let's talk.
All right.
Have you talked to Annie Marie about the whole thing you've got going on?
Not in a lot of detail yet.
Look,
I've
If-
told her basics, but yeah, I think I'm gonna have to walk her through it in detail now.
yeah, because if it's, look, getting caught being what we are is, I mean, obviously a huge issue. But if something's fucking with your ability to, keep in control while you're eating,
Yeah, that seems like something
It's-
she should know about.
yeah. And of all the people you could talk to, your sire's gonna be the most motivated to help you out.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. She is.
You guys have a good relationship?
Yeah, pretty good.
Good.
I mean, she can be
Oh, Jesus.
scary, terrifying even sometimes, but we have a really good relationship.
Yeah, everyone's kind of pop at the idea of, she can be scary and all. It's just kind of like, oh. All right. As long as you guys are close enough that you feel like you can talk to her. You really should. Your people are going to be the best ones to help.
Yeah, well, we're all of us, all we've got is each other, right?
True enough. Just see, she gives the arm a little bit of a squeeze. Get it taken care of, okay? Because I like having people to hang out with and to run with, but at the risk of sounding like a total jerk, I can't put things on the line if I know that you might lose it.
No, I get it. But I don't expect you to put anything on the line for me, Alice.
And do me a favor. I obviously you can tell Andy Marie all about how we hang out. Just unless it's important. A lot of the stuff we're talking about, it's the kids in the street stuff.
Yeah, no, it's like Jake
Until we
said,
have details.
play it close.
Don't be afraid to
And-
ask her about what happened to you, and if she can help.
That's honestly probably about as far as I'm gonna get. I'll probably mention I met some guy on the subway and went to the party with him, but I don't know if I'll go through the entire thing.
I mean, in the end, we don't really know. Honestly, for all I know, he's just a dancing king, and that's it. And it's a coincidence that he wasn't around when the person died.
Yeah.
We really don't know. So, best to keep it under the hat.
The
And-
fact the fact that he seems to have an MO in going after both of us, or at least the way he associated with both of us. That's not a coincidence, I don't think. But
I
I'm
don't
not
think so either. But
I'm not
we still
ready
can't prove it.
to I'm not ready to have a city's worth of us trying to track him down if he is just some innocent know nothing kid, you know?
She holds up
That's-
her fingers. Holds up 3 of them. 3 times to prove a pattern.
Yep.
I mean, and for all we know, he's just trying to pick up girls on the subway.
Yeah.
And even if it was like a creepy way to do it, it's still just a dude picking up girls on the subway. We're trying.
You know, at worst, if he has some ill intentions for the girls he does pick up on the subway, you know, we teach him a lesson. Not like, you know, oogity boogity lesson, like,
We'll figure it out.
yeah.
Oh, do you have a car? Do you need a ride?
No, I got it right here. I can head back.
Okay.
But
And
thanks for the offer.
for what it's worth, Jake seems to be the keep it on the down low type. So if you ever want to come out and meet us, feel free to just say you're coming to meet me.
I will. Sweet. Just a thought I had.
Oh?
Well, he mentioned knowing.
This is amazing.
He mentioned stuff about knowing accounting, right?
Well, yeah, he was apparently an accountant, before.
Yeah. So, he was an accountant before. Did you get a last name for Gavin?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think I did either.
Well, once you're Hopefully, Annie Marie can get you chill, and then we can always see if third time's the charm and he proves the rule.
I was thinking if we did, and it wasn't an alias, with Jake's knowledge of accounting and his, well, the Nosferatu being the Nosferatu, might actually be able to pin down a bank account for him and maybe where he's from.
I mean, if it really comes down to it, we've got. I mean, isn't Paul a detective or cop?
Yeah, but somehow I think going to him for help might be more trouble than it's worth.
I think I could be a weasel about it if I needed to be. She cracks a grin sideways.
Well, I expect a lecture about going to parties with strange guys you meet on the subway and consuming substances that are questionably illegal.
I mean, she shrugs. I've literally watched some of the guys like drink bagged blood, bagged blood that had was cocaine laced. So I think you're good. A pill that won't do anything is hardly a threat.
Yeah. It just seems like the kind of stuff that might rub us fur the wrong way, so to speak.
His?
Paul's.
Oh, Jesus. No, we're not. Why would I tell him all that? She just looks over at her like, what? What do you take me for?
All right.
No. No, I'm not. I don't need to embarrass you to ask someone to check something out for me. Don't worry about it. Jesus. This is that whole mum's word thing we've been working on, That does the little like playful like elbow nudge, like that thing where we don't tell people things that aren't absolutely necessary.
Got it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Knowledge is literally power right now. Like if you want to come spill your guts to someone, you can tell me everything, but I wouldn't do it in general.
No, I've done a fair amount of gut spilling already.
Yeah. Yes. And I'll put it this way. And she does. She gives her a serious side glance. For pulling you up short and completely discrediting you to that group, I should be asking you a favor. Because if word does get around and I didn't do a good enough job, your ass is on the line and so is Lefty's. For spreading talk about the fucking spot right after the prince made that announcement. I've never seen the Scourge, but I sure as hell bet you don't want to, and I know Lefty doesn't want to.
Yeah, I don't either. So,
Yeah. So let's keep the really sensational talk, to the little in crowd.
Gotcha.
Like, I do want to help with this, and I've actually been chasing this for a minute. And I'm not going to go spreading it around to the four corners. But you don't want to just go throwing that out there with, like, the older neonates or the Ancilla.
So if things get really bad, then who do we go to? The hounds?
It depends on what's happening. But I know who to talk to depending on what happens. Ori.
All right. I'll
It
trust your
is-
judgment on that.
It makes a big difference who hears what. So making sure it gets into the right ear is super important. So depending on what happens, if it's really big, if it's really out there, if it's something that no one could ever play off or cover, yeah, it needs to go to the hounds. But otherwise, this is something other people are working on, including me. Grin.
Got it.
So please keep it on the down low.
I will tell only as much as necessary to get my point across.
Okay. But yes, I will be available on the phone. I will not text and drive, but I will, keep in touch. Let me know how it goes with Annie Marie, okay?
Yeah,
Let me know if you get evened out.
I will. You
All
will
right.
be one of the first people I tell,
Okay.
and possibly drag out to celebrate.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I will catch you later.
And Serena she'll wait by her car for a minute to make sure Alice gets safely into hers.
Yeah. Alice goes a walk in. She did park a little bit down from the theater. She doesn't necessarily want her fucking everything tied up to I'm in this place. So yeah, she of all things, it seems like the least intuitive thing to do, but once she gives a little wave and starts heading off, she does take the big headset from around her neck and pops it back on her head. And I'll give it to you this way, Serena. She's not too far when she plops it up, but she clicks on her phone and like you can hear the dull roar, even at a distance. And she does still take, the little paranoid glances down into the alleys between shops and stuff, but goes ahead and heads straight back to the car, clicking the locks periodically as she goes, on the little key fob. And yeah, hops right in.
And once Alice is safely in her car, Serena will get in hers and start heading back home.
Yep, she'll wave as Serena passes, though she will pull up her phone. And as Serena's peeling out, we'll text Jake. I'll keep you in the loop. Is there anything else that I need to know?
Maybe later. Kissy face.
She sends back the little hard eyes face, but is just shaking her head and smiling as she tucks the phone back down. Finally turns the car on, goes to put it in drive. And shall we end it there?
I believe so, yes.
Are there any more devious plans?
None for tonight.
Anything from you, Jakey Poo?
No.
Then for now, we'll call this little meeting adjourned and say thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, Singular Watcher, for watching. I see you. And we will see you next time in Boston by Night. Banana!